What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach. So you get what we had here last week, which is the way he wants it. Well, he gets it. I don't like it any more than you
do. Hey, welcome back to the Bitcoin Jerry. Excuse me. Wow. I'm Jerry French, and I'm going over the world of crypto, but really there's only one, as Bitcoin Cash. It is April 4th or 5th, and it's literally a full-time job keeping up with innovation. The job has a bad annotation. It's more like an awesome hobby. A little bit frustrating to see Craig Wright at InChain repeat the same thing over and over. Not on his part, but the audience. He just laid down an atomic bomb, which, if you're paying attention, he said it over and over to a room full of developers and Sol, that basically, you guys are all useless. Get on board or be obsolete. You can do everything on the Bitcoin blockchain. Sorry. That's the truth, but we want to make an ICO. Too bad. The big consolidation. This is just like the security world with stocks. This is only gonna be one. I've been saying this for years. The powers that be, the elite, if you want to call them that, Visa, Master, the central banks and Blockstream, their customer approval rating after the demise of the housing collapse until now has been, if there were negative rating numbers, then they would have them at an all-time low. And their rent, when I mean rent, I mean their fees that they charge through vehicles of Western Union or whatnot to the poorest parts of the world are disgusting. They cannot come out and debate Bitcoin at any stage, because think about, from their standpoint, the last thing they want to do is have a discussion on what is money. 99.5% of the people don't know what money is, other than it's a green thing you hand someone and then they hand you merchandise. And they're not helping by using awesome fancy words like quantitative easing, which just means we have the machines running at full blast, literally printing money. Do you know what's in no historic book? 0% interest rates for a decade on the world's currency, the USD, which would normally tank it overnight, but when you have the whole world printing money at the same time, I'll try to state the facts. Last administration was Obama. Obama spent more than all other presidents combined. Just don't even think about that. Let it just fly off your head, and no big deal. But anybody who has taken math or, has any sense knows. Holy shit. Think of it as like a credit card. That's what's so, well, let me be fair. Okay, inflation has good traits too. There's a reason why every country uses it. It's the most efficient way to tax the people. Yep, I'm going to give you both sides, but reason being, you don't need a whole army, to go collect taxes or whatnot. You could go hide in the hills, in a bunker, and hide it under your mattress. But the efficient part about inflation is it'll go up. They'll say money is inflated 3%. It just goes up wherever you're hiding your money and just takes 3% of its purchasing power. I'm oversimplifying everything I say, so this is all satire, me lying, or whatever. That's my disclaimer, okay? It's all a joke. But anyway, so that being said, they are not stupid either. The tools they do have, the strategies, I like to call them, that would work. And quite honestly have worked is a Rothschild repeat, proxy war, the enemy, fund the enemy of my enemy, whatever region you're from that rings to. But they have a thing called ICOs instead of IPOs on the stock market. I'm not expert on all these things. I'm pretty much an expert in stocks, but an IPO traditionally would be like Alibaba, world-class company goes public, or Walmart, a real store that goes public. I pretty much memorized everything from Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. So if I refer to them a lot, it's because I owe them millions. Catch my drift. With Buffett, rule number 1 is don't lose money. Rule number 2 is don't forget rule number 1. And for the first few years, I thought, oh, great, that's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Skip to the next one. But if you look at his early years when he's referencing it, what that really means is the trick to the whole thing is, which goes back to Benjamin Graham, common stocks, uncommon profit. All you have to do, not to make tragic mistakes, is not fund money on projects to come. Shiny objects, promises of what is going to build. It's better to have something with a track record like Hershey's chocolate bars for 50 years or Coca-Cola, whatnot, than it is, okay, I'm getting off track. The point being, somewhere along the line, an IPO became like a lottery ticket. I personally never even partaked in an IPO. In crypto, it's called ICO, and it's just a place that all gamblers go and gamble away and feel good that somehow it's a business decision, not betting on the horses. I mean, I don't know shit. I don't know what they're thinking, or if they're thinking at all, But this last month, 2 months, August 2nd, I was very, or pre-August 1st, I should say. I had a little anxiety going forward. And I thought it was very, once again, above reproach during the fork to give both sides a coin. Why that is so brilliant is on so many levels that I will not be able to articulate why. But first and most important is that everybody's happy. We've been fighting for 2 years on small blocks versus big blocks. Now you got a coin of both. Everybody can be happy. The scarcity mathematically does not change. So, hippie, here, take the high road. You try your way, small blockers. I still laugh every time. Oh gosh. And we got ours. But the unthinkable happened. This is actually true. I don't know if RICO or the Justice Department is going to look into this or whatnot, but small blockers literally simultaneously said it's not going to last a day. It's worth 5 cents, and intent that they were telling the public was it's a scam coin, which that is fine. You say whatever the hell you want. But you can't legally take a fake $20 bill and exchange it with someone else. I mean, there's no law against accidentally doing that. Intent is 9/10 of the law. But they quite literally call it a scam coin. And remember, every buy there's a sell and every sell there's a buy. And then sold, they didn't burn their PCH tokens. No, they sold them to some unwitting person. Literally caught red-handed, so they are so screwed. All they could do now is say any word except Bitcoin Cash. They come up with like B Trash and B Cash, and all these other things to try to, like, they can make it happen. Meanwhile, this is about money, so it's not about good guy, bad guy. So you might as well just turn this thing off. There's plenty of channels for that. I don't give a flying toot. It's a guy who sold fireworks when he was 14 years old. If that's important to you, BTC is still available. If making money is important, all the guys that make money, have the businesses, started the mining, started the whole thing, they all went to Bitcoin Cash. You can go ahead and throw out some exceptions if you want. We can debate it. But simplify it. The brains said this is dumb on every single level. Every level. Because here's a simple fact. Here's why, another reason why they will never go on stage and debate this. They will talk to their friend who's also a small blocker. Small blocks are cool. Yeah, small blocks are the best. In the future, we'll have Lightning and SegWit. And the trick is, to fool people, is you use big, complicated words. And the cooler they sound, X42000 or SegWit or Lightning, I mean, if that doesn't catch, I mean, that's very good. That's very good marketing. I mean, I almost want to buy it, you know. There's a car called Lightning now. I'm going to at least look at it. I don't know about SegWit, but it sounds technical. But it accomplishes nothing. In fact, it broke so bad, and it's broken so bad that you can't even exchange. They have what's called replaced by fee. In other words, you can take cuts in line. You know, let's say you transact someone $5 or whatever, and the guy over here is transacting 10. He could pay an extra fee and shove you out of line. It's called the elite program. So what they really want is, they don't want the 4 billion a part of this game. You know what I'm saying? That's their real goal. At the same time, get the fees so high that the bankers look good again. You know what I'm saying? Because the bankers, before they went in and took over the GitHub or the development team, there couldn't be no altcoins. How do you compete to the world's largest network, where you can transfer any amount, $1 million across the globe for less than a penny? I'll just give you the answer. You can't. Like Buffett said, you know, if you gave me $100 billion and said, take down the name Coca-Cola, I'd give it back and say it cannot be done. That's a margin of safety. Man, rabbit trail. So anyway, my point is, there's so much good, funny content that I can't keep up. This is great. I mean, in the background, Bitcoin Cash and their multitude of teams working like adults. There's no name calling. They've taken the moral high ground. I'm not quite the same. I take the higher moral high ground most of the time. You know, as a human being, there's some rules that are what we call unwritten rules. You know, rabbi, clergymen, constables, you know, they debate endlessly. You know, if someone hits you on the cheek, you know, give me your other cheek or whatnot. But we all have an unwritten rule, you know, humans, that if you hurt a family member or molest, you know, my daughter or son, your cries for help will be unheard. I mean, I'm saying it right now, so this is an unwritten, unsaid law that binds us together as human beings against evil, you know. So maybe I should delete that. But it's anyway, so that's why I say most of the time, you know, you can talk shit on Roger Vere's, you know, decisions or whatever, but the second they said it's a shady character and all this stuff that's way over the line, you know, I mean, not on par with most of anything like that, but I mean, man is only good as his word, and they're just saying his word is nothing. His word is everything. We also have another term called goodwill. Sorry, but this is a financial term from like stocks. But what that means for value investors, the long term, is that people, let's like Disney or Steve Jobs, they build up what's called goodwill. It's a good track record of business decisions and whatnot. Anyways, these all-stars have so much freaking goodwill. They could do a lot of shit wrong, and us bigger value investors can care less. That's how much credit they have in their account. If you study any of them, you'll come across this theme, and you think it's just like, you know, thrown in there for nonsensically. But they keep telling you the trick is integrity and trust. Now your brain's saying, okay, go to the next point. That's fucking useless. Okay, but that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? It's what it's all about. Trust. You know, we had to make a system that's trustless because not everybody is trustworthy. And it wouldn't be so valuable if everybody was trustworthy. If you're amongst a person or people that are, you're amongst royalty. That's so rare. Anyways, no one likes to hear that, so I will skip that. Good job, Bitcoin Cash. I'm going to try to cut this off a little early because there's so much cool stuff coming on. Mike Hearn is coming back on the 5th, or I think today or tomorrow, so do not miss. His blog is so freaking ahead of its time that I always say I hesitate to even recommend it, but here's the issue too. People talk about the 7 there's at least 5, 6, 7, it depends on how you break down levels of knowledge of Bitcoin. So the task of me talking to you right now is difficult. I talk to people on the street and they're like, is that like phone minutes, at the lowest point, or didn't that turn into Mt. Gox or something, or hacked, and then the next person might be going, well, what's the latency rate, so it's very difficult to speak one way. This is why small blockers love it. They're not going to have a two-way discussion because they could just say, you sold fireworks. Oh, the worst, it's a weakness of mine. Emotion is not really, it's your downfall, just so you know. Your ego is not your amigo. But this asshole was talking with Roger Ver. I watched it live and just kept nagging him. Got Roger so upset that he flipped off the guy, basically, I don't need this. I could retire and be gone forever. This guy runs some kind of, I think, porno site or whatever. Anyways, he got him mad enough that he flipped him off. And one time, that same picture has been repeated over and over and over on the internet. I count millions of times. The irony of that level of hypocrisy, I'll tell you right now, I've flipped off people. I've been mad. I've done much worse than flip off someone. Is anyone that's saying this knowing of a human being that hasn't, or the leader of their team has not, or this is children. I mean, August 2nd, I was celebrating. You can look it up on YouTube. I mean, this is awesome. Small blockers, you go your way, I go my way, and they're saying dump. I just very, very excited. But the reaction, the truth is forever. Lies take a lot of maintenance and they always get peeled back eventually. Anyways, I cannot stop, so I'm just going to stop. Good job, Bitcoin Cash. This is Bitcoin Jerry saying, awesome day.